Alright, welcome to this next part in the tutorial, and in this mode we want to look at our various shading modes. Yeah, the shortcut here is just Z, not Control, not Shift, not Alt, just Z. So if you press Z, you should, after activating your Pi menu, from the previous videos or from the previous tutorials, you should now be able to see exactly what I have here. You should see wireframe, shade smooth, rendered, shade plot, solid, material preview. So wireframe here, you can see the symbol. It's wireframe. It's the same thing as this. Solid, having this solid circle here, is the same as this. Material preview, having this icon on the left, is the same as this. And rendered is having the same icon as this. So these are the four main shading views that we have in Blender. Okay, so let's look at the first, wireframe. So wireframe is going to show you the wireframe of your mesh. Okay, so whatever object you have or whatever design you've got going on in Blender right now is, yeah, it's a mesh. Okay, it's good. Not every time a mesh. Okay, it can be a mesh, it can be a curve. Okay, so we have mesh, we have curve, we have surface, metaball. It could also be a text, it could be a grease pencil, it could be a volume. It could be light, it could be any one of all of these elements that we have here. Okay, that's fine. Now your wireframe is just going to show you the wireframe view of your mesh. This is very useful because if I go into edit mode, I can go just to select edges that I cannot see in the solid view. So if I want to go to solid view, I can just come up here and click this. So if I hit Alt A to deselect everything, when I'm in this view, I cannot see what is at the back right here. Okay, I cannot see it. But in my wireframe view, Z, wireframe, I can see it, and I can, with this, select what is here. Or if I want to select the face, I can this way select the face by looking for the dark dot that is at the center of the face. Okay, you can see this dark dot at the center of the face. Yeah, I can click it to select the face. So this, no, not that, this black dot will be for that top, and this will be for this top, this will be for this front face, and this will be for this front face. Okay, let me just undo all of that. So alt alt A to undo all of that. But just to demonstrate, I'm gonna select this face and select this face, and that's in wireframe mode. So wireframe mode enables me to um, see through the entire mesh, and also I can select through them. But in solid, I cannot select this, which is at the back, just the way I did in my wireframe view. What I can do is to select what is visible to me. That's what I can do when selecting um, in my solid view. Yeah. So now I'm just going to go with my face select instead of having all three selection modes on. Yeah. Now that's fine. Alt A to deselect all. Now the next shaded view that I'm going to bring to us is the material preview. Okay. So in the material preview, it's going to show you, if you click this drop down, you have more options in there, and you see lighten. This is going to help you to ensure that your light in your scene is in use. Let me just bring this closer, right, like so, and let me pile it up a bit. There you go. I know. Yeah, what does it would do? Let's just give it a shade in the pop like so. Alright, now that's fine. And then you have the option to turn on what we call scene wall, which would bring in this HDR. Okay, this HDR to surround the entire environment and provide a form of illumination. So, yeah, it is currently active, but if I turn on scene wall, this is now making use of my wall component. So this wall properties here is now what is taking effect, no longer using the HDR that was available. But if I turn these off, now it's going to be using this. So with this, I can increase the strength. You see, it's affecting the scene. If I take it to 0, there you go. But if I take it to something like 1, yeah, so it brightens up the scene. However, I need you to know that this does not affect your rendering. When you're going to render your image, what you need to focus on for your world lighting is this world properties. Okay, what you do here is what matters the most. Okay, so in my rendered, make sure for your render you have scene light on, you have scene world on. But in the material preview, while you're working, you can still turn scene world off and just use this to light your scene. And of course, you can still change depending on the tone you want. You can change the type of environment that whatever you're designing seems to be placed in. Okay, so yeah, that's something to take note of about our various shading modes. So for the last one, which is the rendered, yeah, I always prefer to leave my rendered in scene light, turn on, scene world, turn on, and of course, when it comes to your light, we're going to look at the various lights that we have in Blender, all right? So when it comes to your light, we have point, we have sunspot, and area lamp. So for the point light, it's a 360 universal light. So it gives us light in all direction, all right? While your sun is directional, just the way the sun is directional, the Earth revolving around the sun and rotating on its own axis. Yep. So yeah, the sun is very bright. So 1 is really pretty much between 1 to 3 is pretty much enough for the sun in a way. So yeah, always take it close to white. Okay, except you're dealing with something like sunsets kind of a scene. That's when you can take it deeper into the orange. That's fine. Oh, your spotlight. Yeah, your spotlight um delivers spotlight, let me put it that way. So it delivers light in a cone shape, and it's directional as well. Yeah, and yeah, it has the radius, it has um, the size of the cone. I take this down to 40. So yeah, that affects the size of the cone. You can see affected right there, and I can always soften it. Yep, that should soften it somehow. Just go on to high 10, change the direction 0, 0, and 90. Let's create a floor, mesh, plane, scale the plane, and yeah, just for us to see what is happening. 0, 0, oh, let's give this 10, that's fine. So, this blend, if I take it to 0, the light, once it hits the surface, it's very hard. Yeah, it's really hard, as you can see. But if you take a blend up to 1, it softens the light, as you can see there. The size here, 75, it deals with the size of the how large the the spotlight is. Okay, yeah. So, and of course, the power is what gives you the intensity, like yeah, how intense is the light? And of course, you can always change the color of the light. Now, also your aerial light. Your aerial light is, yeah, it's directional. Okay, so if I take this up, like Shift D to duplicate it, and G of Z to move it up, if I look up this way, I can't see anything. Unlike if I change this to my point light affects all directions. Okay, so it's showing down below, it's showing above, up above, unlike my aerial light. So my aerial light is more of a rectangular or square shape. Okay, it can also take the form of a disc or helix. For now, let's just take it down to 1000. Bring it down like so, and this is 0.1 by 0.1 meter. Let's say 1 meter by 1 meter to bring out the shape. So you can see the shape right here. So the shape I have right now is a square because it's having 1 meter by 1 meter. But if I change this to 5, Now I see my light this way. Bring down more so I can see the effect of the light, and it's a rectangle. So of course I can always change this. If I change it to a disk, now you can see it's a circular form and it has just a radius of 1. And you can change this, say a radius of 3 meters. Yeah, so this is a very good way to use directional light. You can either choose your area light if you want a broad field, or you can choose your spotlight if you want a narrow field. And if it's going to be a point light, just feel of the environment, yeah, you're good to go with that. So, yeah, your sun works just like the sun does right out there. Yeah, with this, I believe we've touched up on our various shader views as well as our light. Okay, that is fine. See you in the next tutorial and bye for now.